Hi, I'm Andrew Gronowski, founder of Shoestone Publishing. Today we'll be playing our role-playing game, Magonomia, the game of Renaissance Wizardry. This is an actual play session of the intro scenario, Curse of the One-Eyed Witch, which you can download for free along with the Magonomia starter rules from drivethrurpg.com. We'll show you a few scenes from our game to give you an idea of the basics, how skills work, how to invoke aspects, and of course, how the spellcasting rules work. We won't show you the complete game session to avoid spoilers and to keep the video fairly short. In fact, we'll focus on just a few scenes. Let's start at the beginning.
It's the start of the game session, so I gave all the players their fate points to start with. Players get 3 because that's their refresh score for all the characters. And I will set the scene. You are a group of 5 wizards. You know each other, you belong to a wizard club. You all are different kinds of wizards, practicing different magical sciences. But you come together to share your arcane insights and for fellowship, and you've known each other for at least many months, if not years. You rotate your monthly wizard party among houses in a village called Huntingdon, which is an average country village. It is on the road called the Great North Road, and I'm going to make that an aspect.
I'd just like to interrupt for a moment to explain what an aspect is. An aspect is a short statement of what's important about a character or something else in the game, like a location or a spell. Aspects interact with the game rules, as we'll see later in this video, but they add a narrative flair that goes beyond anything numbers can represent. Aspects are heavily used in fate-based games like Magonomia, and we use them for both characters and spells.
I'll add another aspect in the background. The stars and various omens point to mystical events causing changes. So I'll say mystical changes are happening around you. And that is another aspect that's in effect when we start the scene.
Maybe that's why we're having this meeting. To
Maybe it
discuss
is.
the signs of importance that we have seen
That's a great idea.
and try to figure out what may be coming. It's simple enough to come up with a name for a witch. I'm going to be Mother Mary, and my familiar is a raven who goes by Bess of the Feathers. She's a village gossip who got struck by lightning while sneaking about and looking through people's windows, and that turned her into a spirit. And she's currently my raven.
So you bound her into the body of a raven.
Yep, and she was all right with this because she's kind of nosy anyway, and we get along.
Yep. And so you've got half ghost, half bird. They're 2 creatures sharing the same body, and that's her familiar.
The wizard party gets interrupted. A carriage comes galloping into the village with the driver calling for help. It turns out the passenger has been cursed, and they bring that passenger into the midwife's house in the village, and the wizards come inside. Here's what the eyewitness has to say.
And I looked up, and there she was, lying in the mud, with an old woman standing over her. And I saw the old woman had one eye and a big scar on her face. She's a witch. She cursed Lady Poppington. The midwife, having carefully checked over the lady, says, "There's nothing I can do for her."
Allow me to take a look. Reading curses is not unlike reading the stars, so I'm going to use my Reading of Hexmark spell.
Very good.
Um,
And you're casting a spell. Every spell has a certain write-up, a block at the top of it. And this one, does it say what components or preparation that it takes?
the components are 1 method of divination.
So there are many ways of doing divination. Some people gaze into fire, some people read the wisps of smoke or the blobs of wax when they drip a candle into water. Others look into mirrors or cast astrological horoscopes and charts. What is your wizard's method of divination?
Generally, I look at horoscopes, and I'm Cecil the astrologer.
Nice.
And so, generally the stars and reading of celestial bodies.
You have your almanac and you did an astrological observation last night.
Yes.
So, very good. And how long does the spell take to cast?
1 minute.
All right. So he studies his charts and almanac. An almanac is like a book that keeps track of what stars are where when. It's got lots of tables. And after a minute, you can tell what's going on, maybe.
Yes.
So this is an overcome test, and using your astrology skill.
Yep. And it's overcome verse 1. My astrology skill is +4.
It's versus 1 because this is a first degree spell.
Ooh.
And that is very interesting. So what's your astrology skill?
+4.
And you rolled -4. So that would be a 0.
Yes.
0 is less than the number you were going for. In Fate, a failed dice roll doesn't necessarily mean you failed the task. It means you got an unexpected outcome. Things could go sideways. You could succeed at a cost. You could fail entirely. Or there's another option, which is you can use one of your aspects and spend a fate point to invoke the aspect. Jeff, you have an aspect that you think you might want to use.
Yes. I think I'm going to use my There's No Such Thing as Luck aspect.
So that makes perfect sense to me, but for the viewers at home, can you explain how, just invent part of the story why there's no such thing as luck would cause the outcome of this task to change?
Sure. So, astrology, although part of it is a magic and an art, part of it is just science and deterministic. And so the stars are always going to be where the stars are. And similarly, if I'm trying to read the hex marks on a woman, they're always going to be there. And so
Perfect.
instead of just relying on the luck of getting it the first time, I'm going to spend a few more minutes to do that. Alternatively, for 1 fate point, reading of hex marks has an augmentation where you can use it again in the same scene. And so that would have been a different route I could have taken.
That's true. In this case, you're invoking the aspect, and you can do one of two things when you invoke the aspect. You can either re-roll all your dice, or you can add +2 to the result.
I would just go ahead and add +2.
Because that takes you from
A 0
to a 2, and that's success.
Yes.
Congratulations, you have read the hex marks. And indeed, Lady Poppington is cursed. And the curse causes her to be in a comatose sleep. She will not wake until the curse is lifted. Moreover, you have an idea that it is possible, there's always a countermeasure to a curse. And you don't know it offhand because you didn't succeed with style, but you know that it's magically possible to formulate a potion or something that would lift the curse. There may be other ways to lift the curse as well.
So I have a question about that. I happen to have a stunt, which is folk medicine. And it says that I can use my Arcana skill to help characters recover from physical consequences and physical curses. Is being in a comatose state a physical curse, or is that more like gout, or you can't move your legs?
I would say being in a comatose sleep is a physical curse. I'm going to say being in a midwife's house is an aspect that you could use if you want to while you're trying to...
Oh, I would love to, especially if she has some herbs that
Okay.
are...
What?
Useless.
You can roll your dice first, see what the outcome is.
All right.
All right.
So when I use this stunt, do I
You're just using
my Arcana skill,
Arcana skill
which is
to.
+3, and I roll a neutral, so that's 3.
All right. Very good. You got a 3.
Yes, it doesn't say anything about any bonuses from a stunt. I'm assuming all that means is I can use the skill that way.
All right. You are able to construct the formula for a potion that will lift her curse. However, you don't have all the ingredients here. There are 4 things that you need.
Perhaps the best thing to do is to go out into the woods and find it.
Well,
Perhaps maybe there we'll also find the witch and cursed her. Personally, I feel very strongly about one-eyed crones giving witches a bad reputation.
The constable says yes. If she cursed one, she can curse others.
we're able to get a good estimation of where this happened.
Tom says, well, I remember the spot.
You sure?
I can show you. The midwife says, but what about Lady Poppington?
We think she'll be okay for the time being.
Just prop her up on your bed, make her comfortable.
I'm going to cast Conjoining of the Talismans.
Nice. And you can tell us what that does.
So this is a 3rd G spell of 1st degree,
Mm-hmm.
and it links 2 talismans, and I'm going to use paper for this, so that when one is destroyed, the other is destroyed in the same way. So it takes 20 minutes to prepare this, but
Alright. So you're setting, but you can tell people what you're going to do.
right. So the idea, I think what I want to do here is create this talisman and give one of them to the midwife and say, if her condition worsens, rip it in half,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll come back. Otherwise, we're gonna go searching for the witch.
All right.
Before they go out to the woods, the alchemist wants to use one of his potions. I'm going to leave out the part where he says what that potion does to avoid spoilers.
All the potions that you know, you're carrying doses of them with you, so you don't have to make the potion on the spot. You can just administer it, and then we roll dice to see how well you did back when you made it, to see how effective it is at this time. And what do you want to do with it?
I'd like to give it to Tom before we leave. So
We don't always have to roll dice to resolve tasks, and I can't think of anything that could go interestingly wrong here. Yes, I can. So let's roll some dice. Dice decide between expected and unexpected outcomes, and the dice are remarkably bad today. -4.
What's your skill?
4,
Okay.
and the overcome is 1 because it's a
Alright.
1st degree spell.
All right.
I feel like this is really important. I'm inclined.
Well, you can succeed at a cost. You don't have to spend your fate points.
Okay. Well, here's a question about success at a cost.
Yep.
My primary objective is to get, the best possible spot to start the search. Does succeed at a cost mean that that's okay, and the cost will be something different?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm comfortable with that.
All right. Do you have an idea of what could go wrong when Tom drinks the
I
potion?
regret to inform you that I've decided to edit out exactly what did go wrong when Tom drank the potion. It was mildly amusing, but it also revealed something that I'd rather leave as a surprise. Let's move ahead. The characters go out to the forest where the curse was laid, and they're going to get into a fight. Now, there is a mild spoiler here for exactly what the fight is, so if you really want to play the Curse of the One-Eyed Witch, now might be a good time to stop the video. But if you want to see wizards using their powers in combat, I've decided to leave this scene in. Let's see what happens.
You're in the shadow of Sapley Forest. You see some things, small creatures flying around. Looks like birds, sort of swarming around something on the ground. But you realize that they're not birds. And in fact, Bess says to you, cousin, she'll call you cousin, wicked spirits torment something on the ground.
Oh, well, in that case, I shall relay this. Those are not birds, they are foul spirits besetting something. We ought to interfere.
They're about 200 yards away.
What is that in terms of zones?
Zones.
I don't know how they work indoors, but out in the woods in the open.
Yeah, I would say that that's about 4 zones.
4 zones. Okay.
Let us see what it is.
Is this urgent?
Yes, they are attacking a
We
thing.
heard a
All right.
All right.
The constable and the
Was it a human sounding shriek?
no, it sounds a little bit like a flock of ravens scolding something, but not quite. More jabbery. Now, are all 5 of you going together?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Okay. Any spells you want to try on your way over?
So we're all headed over there.
Yep.
I will get my buckler out and my sword.
Nice.
So on the way, I'm going to cast a numbering of the Secret Council.
All right.
Caster sends forth an invisible spirit to count the number of people in a zone, in a distant zone, and report back what it found. The caster must identify the zone in a way the spirit can understand, usually by pointing with a wand or a staff, or a point of divination staff.
Yep.
But expending a control token is even better, so I'll just point the staff.
Great. No dice roll required for this. Your spirit flies out there and flies back. Takes about 3 seconds and tells you there are 5 and 20 flying imps and 1 tortoise.
A tortoise?
We
Yes.
need to save that turtle, guys. Yeah.
5 and 20.
That's a lot of imps.
5 and 20.
5 and 20. Okay.
That's a lot of imps.
Yes.
I wonder how they came to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's an exchange?
An exchange is it's in a fighting or conflict scene, any kind of action scene. It's when everybody gets a turn. So
Okay.
it's what other games call a round.
Got it. Okay. So, for Shield of the Encircling Spirit, I would prepare this off stage and then at the start of each exchange decide who to put it on.
Right. So it's already prepared because it's prepared off stage.
Yeah.
Then activation, you would probably spend an action.
Right. Okay.
Shield of the Encircling Spirit is you've got a spirit with a body made out of smoke or some kind of gas, and you uncork it out of the bottle, and it flies around you and intercepts any attacks that come at you, or a person you designate.
Right. From physical attacks.
Yes. Are you gonna let that out of the bottle?
I am.
Nice. Your spirit flies out, and who do you want to fly around?
So, I mean, for now it doesn't matter. We're not under attack, but
I can cast this as well.
whoever's running point in the group.
Okay. Who wants to be up front?
I'll go up front. I'm a buccaneer.
Okay.
Jonathan Winston, by the way.
Nice. So, a spirit that is not yours, but looks somewhat like yours, begins circling around you.
I know you're kind.
I do need preparation is off stage, but it does have a casting overcome verse 3.
Yes.
So. it
Yeah, let's
is-
roll that one.
Alright, so that's a
Nice, you're trying to kill us.
-2.
Uh-huh.
I have a +4 skill,
Yep.
so that's a 2 outcome, and I needed first 3.
So you can succeed at a cost, fail, or use an aspect to invoke an aspect to modify the outcome.
Even though it's not a person, I'm going to invoke my aspect. Has helped a lot of people, and some want help again.
Okay, how would that help with the spirit?
We're going to rescue the tortoise.
Fair enough. Give me your fate point. You cast a spell, you head over, and sure enough, you see a bunch of imps that look like misshapen little humans, maybe 1.5 feet tall, with bat wings, and they're armed with household cutlery for weapons, kitchen knives, a couple of cleavers, wings like black smoke, and they're swarming around this tortoise, which is tucked inside its shell. And when they see you, they come toward you to attack. We are entering a conflict.
I pull out my rapier.
Great. So the order in which the characters go is determined first by their notice skill. A swarm of these flying imps, 25 in number, comes barreling toward you. And at the start of this conflict, they are 2 zones away. So there's an empty zone between you and them.
Okay.
Cecil, you go first.
Yes. I will draw my quarterstaff and advance to the next zone.
All right. You got your quarterstaff ready.
Yeah.
Do you wish to do anything else?
So I'm interested in this invocation of the warrior ancestor.
Nice. Oh, that one has to be prepared in advance. You.
I have a bunch of runes on my arm, so I'm a battle master.
All right. You can spend a fate point and say that's true.
Yeah,
Give
absolutely.
me a fate point.
No.
Fate point. Yep. Splendid.
Oh, this is 10 minutes of conjuring the spirit, so I did it beforehand.
Yeah.
I'll hold in the bag.
All right. What's the ancestral spirit like that you have? So an aspect describing its fighting spirit.
This is the pirate lord, Gareth.
All right. Great. You are now channeling the pirate lord, Gareth. Roll your dice, please, because this could go sideways.
Yeah, overcome. His immediate overcome versus 2.
Yeah.
And
He did give me the fate point.
No, not the aspect.
I'm about to.
Oh,
I'm
I see.
checking to see.
yeah, so -2, and I don't have conjuration or necromancy.
Those are aspects.
Those are aspects. So use your
Sorcery.
sorcery.
And which, that's plus
All right.
4, so +2.
+2. So you got a minor cost, right?
Okay, I'll take it. And it says...
No, overcome versus 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
2
2
times.
times.
Yeah.
All right. So you got a tie,
Right.
and that means a minor cost. The minor cost is going to be Pirate Lord Gareth. Going to help you in this fight, but he wants to watch the rest of the day.
Okay. And so there's also another clause in here. That's interesting, Andrew. The subject gains a double-edged martial aspect
Yep.
that the ancestor possessed in life.
Yeah.
And so
And
there's
that's-
a bunch of them listed, but...
Pirate Lord Gareth. That's your
Okay,
aspect.
that's it. All right.
All right. And actually, yes, you get a free invocation of that. Here you go. Mother Mary, your turn.
Well, these things have wings, so I'm about to make their lives a little bit more miserable. I'm going to whistle at the wind.
All right. This action, this exchange, you're going to whistle the wind up, and
Yep.
it'll start doing something next
Next
time.
time, yep.
Roll to see how it goes when you whistle the wind.
Okay, so when I whistle up a wind, it says when you cast the spell, use the create an advantage test versus 1.
Okay.
So I guess I'm using what my witchcraft.
Yep.
All right. And
Oh.
I rolled a 2 plus witchcraft of 4, so that's a 6.
All right. You succeed
Versus-
with style.
You.
And I'm going to add an aspect to the scene. Fierce wind at Mary's command.
Yeah, call me Hurricane Mary.
It's the first good roll we've had.
Yeah, I know.
2 free invocations instead of 1. Because you succeeded with style.
Yep, and anybody can invoke those, right?
That is correct.
Perfect.
So, are you gonna stay 2 zones away? Or are you gonna move up with
Can I
Cecil?
move at the same time?
Yes, you
Sure,
can.
all right,
You can
we
whistle
do
and
that.
walk at the same time.
You're gonna move up 1 zone with Cecil?
Yes,
Alright.
yes.
Ethelwald. Ethelwald. I wrote it Ethelward. Ethelwald.
Not easy to spell.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay where I am, but I'm going to move my spirit, my encircling spirit over to the tortoise.
Nice! The spirit flies away from you and begins swirling around the tortoise, breaking and pushing the imps away from it.
Right.
That was cool. That was a good idea. Fate point for being cool. George.
I take out my rapier and my dagger, but I'm not actually in a big hurry to get too close to the imps, so I advance toward them, but I don't make any noise about it.
Very good.
Move up a zone.
Alright.
We'll say you're behind them.
Well, the imps come swarming down onto that zone with Mary, Cecil, and George, and they're going to attack. They're going to attack Mary because she's whistling up a wind. So,
Alright.
here comes an attack. You should roll defend. This is a physical attack, so you can defend with athletics or fighting.
I think fighting is probably my better skill. I don't have athletics. I have fighting of 1.
Okay.
So I roll. Okay, so that's 1.
And their attack is a 2. So they're going to hit you.
I will probably use an aspect to help with that,
All right.
actually. It's a little bit of a weird use, but I think it makes sense.
All right.
Um,
Now you've also got these 2 invocations of fierce wind at your command.
True.
Which aspect do you want to use?
Actually, you know what? I think I might use wind to get them off of me and anybody in the same square, if at all possible.
Technically, you can use that invocation to either re-roll your dice or add +2. +2 will make their attack fail.
Okay,
Do you
that
wanna do
sounds
that?
good. Yeah.
So you use the fierce wind at your command, and with that, you're able to avoid their attacks. That's the end of the first exchange in this conflict. An exchange is a period where everybody, including the non-player characters, gets a turn. It's what other games call a round. I want to close the curtain on this game session at this point, leaving you in suspense as to what happened to our heroes, so that you can play it yourself and find out. But there you have it. We've seen how wizards can use their spells. We've seen some of the spells in action. We've seen invoking aspects and the basic mechanics of using dice. I hope this gives you a feel for the experience of role-playing Renaissance Wizards. I hope it makes you excited about Magonomia. Thank you for watching.